What's up, guys? In this episode, I'll be featuring my top 5 all-time greatest Bruce Lee movie posters, and it's coming right up. What's up, guys? Charles Damiano back from the Bruce Lee collection for another exciting episode of Bruce Lee Show and Tell. In this episode, I'm going to be discussing and featuring my top 5 greatest movie posters, in my opinion, of all time on Bruce Lee. Now, the ones I like the best, starting with number 1, is Fists of Fury. Now, if you guys are not familiar with vintage movie posters, I'll give you a little background on them. Vintage movie posters are 27.5 by 41, and they hung in front of the movie theaters back in the early 70s when Bruce Lee made all his movies. And I just love The Fists of Fury. It was the first movie I saw as a kid. It was in 1973. I was 14 years old, and that's the movie that started it all for me. When I saw Bruce explode off the screen in Fists of Fury, I've been hooked ever since, and I've never looked back.
Superheroes, supervillains, and super movies, but there has never been anything like karate and kung fu. And Bruce Lee, he's the man with the Fists of Fury. Karate and kung fu, the new screen excitement you've been waiting for. Introducing the incredible heroics of Bruce Lee. Every limb of his body is a lethal weapon against an army of men, the most sensual of women, and the most savage of beasts. Karate and kung fu. The explosive combination that gives you the biggest kick of your life. Fists of Fury.
So let me show you this beautiful, beautiful movie poster. Now, some things you have to be aware of. Traditional movie posters come folded, so it doesn't harm the value of the movie poster. This is how they sent them to the movie theaters. They open up into beautiful 27, like I said, by 41 movie posters. Most of the reprints, just be aware, are rolled. So if you have a rolled movie poster of any of Bruce's movies, it's usually not an original. This is an original in mint condition. I found mine in a lot of the movie memorabilia shops at the time. One was Jerry Olinger's. The other one is Movie Star News. It was another memorabilia shop. I also went to a lot of comic book conventions in the McAlpin Hotel back in New York City at the time, and other hotels that also I would find a lot of Bruce Lee lobby cards, photos, movie posters, press books at the time, and I would make sure I would pick up all of them. So I have multitudes of these posters in my collection. So let's open this first one up. This is my top 5 picks for most incredible and greatest movie posters on Bruce Lee of all time. And in my opinion, here's the top 5. This is the first one. Is that a beauty or what? Karate and kung fu, the new screen excitement that gives you the biggest kick of your life. Bruce Lee in The Fists of Fury. Again, this came out in 1973, a good 47 years ago. The movie poster is classic, it's iconic. Let me know if you have this in your collection. Mine is in mint condition. Again, the value of these are kind of off the charts. I've seen some of these go for $300, $400, $500 on eBay, and it really depends on the condition. Probably if it's in mint condition, it's more on the upper scale of the value chart. But again, I have a few of these in my collection. If any of you guys need these and want to discuss picking up one, let me know. You can email me in the description below at cdbrlee@aol.com. That's my email address. But I wanted to show you this beautiful, beautiful movie poster. So that's number one. The second movie poster. Top 5 greatest movie posters of all time. Bam! Bruce's second movie. The Chinese Connection.
He's unstoppable, unbeatable, unbelievable. He's Bruce Lee, the master of karate, kung fu, delivering that Chinese connection. Rated R.
Again, one of my favorite movies. I think Enter the Dragon, in my opinion, is maybe a slight first place, and maybe this is very close to that with me as well. These are probably two of my favorite, Enter the Dragon and Chinese Connection. But look at this one, man. Beautiful, again, folded so you know it's original. Unstoppable, unbeatable, Bruce Lee in the Chinese Connection. The master of karate, kung fu is back to break you up, smash you down, and kick you apart with the Chinese Connection. And there you have it. Look at that, man. Beautiful, beautiful poster. Again, came out in 1973. You have the date at the bottom of the poster. Again, this is in mint condition. And like Fist of Fury, I would say that the value on this is anywhere from $300 to $500, $600 in mint condition. And that's what I have my Chinese Connection poster in. And this is number 2 of the 5 greatest Bruce Lee movie posters of all time. Let's see number 3. And here we go. Obviously, you got Return of the Dragon. Now this actually came out after Enter the Dragon, although he filmed this before Enter the Dragon, but it was being played in Hong Kong at the time when Bruce went off to make Game of Death and then eventually Enter the Dragon. So they actually put this out in 74 after Enter the Dragon, and they marketed it as Return of the Dragon, and that's why the name was changed from the Hong Kong name of Way of the Dragon. They made this movie poster called Return of the Dragon, and it says, "Boy, can we use him now?" And I remember as a kid, I had a sleepover, I believe, at my cousin's place, and the commercial for this came on, and I'm like, how did that happen? I was probably 14, 15 years old. How could Bruce make another film? And again, I didn't really know much about Bruce at that time, only from the movies that he was making. I was so excited to see the commercial for this coming out on TV.
What could be more exciting than Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon? Bruce Lee in Return of the Dragon. Yes, Bruce Lee is back, blazing his way from Hong Kong to hell in the all-new fantastic adventures of the superhero he created in Enter the Dragon. It's Lee, unleashed. Lee, unmarshaled. Lee, unmerciful. Against the dragon, even the best are better off dead. was his last and best performance in Return of the Dragon, rated R.
Mamma mia!
Boy, can we use him now.
And this is the beautiful movie poster behind it. Again, it's folded, so it shows it's an original. It's not rolled. Most rolled posters are reprints. And again, just a beautiful, beautiful movie poster. Boy, can we use him now. Bruce Lee is back in the fantastic, all-new adventures of the superhero from Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee in Return of the Dragon. One of my favorite movie posters. Beautiful vintage movie poster of Bruce Lee from Return of the Dragon. Let me know if you have this one in your collection. Again, this is my top 5 pick. Let's go to number 4. And here we go with number 4. Think you guys might know which one this is. Again, I'm going to unfold this carefully. Again, it's in mint condition. I picked this up back in the mid to late 70s because the movie came out in 78. And they just put together a beautiful movie poster on Bruce Lee when the Game of Death came out. They did everything they could to really kind of promote this film, but again, in my opinion, it's probably the worst of the Bruce Lee films, and I love all the Bruce Lee films outside of the 10-12 minutes of the fight scenes that you see in Game of Death between him and the 3 opponents that he takes on in the pagoda.
Little fellow, you must have given up the hope of living.
On the contrary, I do not let the word death bother me.
Same here, baby.
Then what are you waiting for?
And maybe the collage of photos they put together at the end of the film with some beautiful music playing of Bruce's clips of his other films. Outside of those two, in my opinion, probably the worst, most tackiest movie that ever came out. But again, the movie poster is phenomenal. You see him here in different scenes with Bob Wall, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it says Bruce Lee challenges the underworld to a game of death. And here you have it, Bruce Lee in the Game of Death. Again, just love this movie poster. Didn't love the movie, but love the movie poster. Came out in the date on here says 1979. One of my favorite vintage all-time Bruce Lee movie posters, and that is the 4th one. Now, let's get ready for the 5th movie poster. Are you guys ready? And not only is this my number 1 pick for movie posters, but it's probably the greatest martial art movie, if not the greatest martial art movie of all time. It really just set the standard of what martial art movies should be like. And I think Bruce Lee did his best work in this classic. Boom! Enter the Dragon. Their deadly mission to crack the forbidden island of Han. Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon. And this came out, and the date on it is 1973.
Warner Brothers presents Enter the Dragon, the first martial arts film produced by a major Hollywood studio. Introducing U.S. karate champion Jim Kelly as Williams. He grew up in the streets and knew what it meant to fight for survival.
Your style is unorthodox. It's not the art, but the combat that you enjoy. The winning.
And starring Black Belt Hall of Fame, undisputed martial arts champion and international film star Bruce Lee. Roper, Williams, and Lee. Just when they think they've broken the secret of the island, they find there is no escape from the inscrutable Han. Roper. He's in it for the money.
I'm hoping you'll join us, represent us in the United States.
You want me to join this?
Williams, he was there because he had no choice. And Lee, his job was to get them out, alive. This is Enter the Dragon, where the world's greatest martial arts athletes meet the ultimate challenge, the most ancient and deadly of weapons, the human body. Enter the Dragon, filmed in Panavision by Warner Brothers.
And you could see it's in mint condition. My favorite movie poster of all time. When I picked this up back in the conventions and movie memorabilia houses at the time, I was just blown away. I probably have about 4 or 5 copies of this in my collection. Again, this is probably the most valuable of all the posters. I've seen this on eBay go for $1,000. Some guys listed at $1,200 for this poster. Back in the day, Jerry Ollinger, where I got most of my memorabilia from, was selling it for $600, and that was back in the 70s. So since then, it's went up tremendously. And again, value of items are all based on the condition, and this is in mint condition. Again, it's folded. A lot of Enter the Dragon reprints came out, and you usually could find them in a roll tube with plastic over them. It's not the real thing. You could probably pick them up online for 10, 15 bucks, but to find an original like this is phenomenal. And again, this is my favorite all-time movie, as well as the all-time movie poster. Let me know what your favorite movie poster was. Was it Enter the Dragon, Return of the Dragon, Game of Death, Chinese Connection, Fist of Fury? Which one would you rank number 1? Let me know. Love to hear from you guys. Let's keep it engaging. Chatter in on the comments. And that's it for this episode. Those are my top 5 all-time greatest Bruce Lee movie posters. Also, let me know if you have any of these in your collection. I love to know. Love to hear which ones you have. And again, I'm talking about the vintage USA movie posters that came out in the early 70s that you've seen displayed in the movie theaters back in the day. So again, guys, if you liked this episode, and I know that you did, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below so you never miss an episode. And until next time, Charles Damiano, once again signing out from the Bruce Lee Collection, saying, have fun collecting.